I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings. I am going to do the Virgo female single reading for the winter of 2018 into 2019. Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute here just to kind of acknowledge what I've done for this winter season. I managed to change up a few things. I vamped the logo a little bit. I actually got Aaron at Active Dynamics here. He has managed to make my intro for me, so I'm very thankful for that. He did a great job. I couldn't have done it. So thanks, Aaron, for that. I appreciate it immensely. And also to Ikson for my theme music. Is beautiful, upbeat, happy tunes. I can't get enough. I am now going to his page because it's just that great. It's all good gravy stuff. So I couldn't have revamped my winter season without these dudes around me. So I'm lucky enough to have them in my corner. So thanks, guys. Ikson, great work. Aaron, thanks again. Great work. So take care, guys. Enjoy your season. And Ikson, if you ever want a reading, just hit me up, man. Just email me. I will kick in and we'll set something up. In the meantime, take care. Have fun, you guys, and enjoy the readings. I go over the energies generally with 3 cards from the masculine or feminine decks. And then we get into the areas of the tarot cards. I got 5 different decks I work from, and we slowly dip into the intimacy areas, trying to get to the root of the problem so that I can illuminate it for you, and you can either fix it or move forward or make some informed decisions. So hopefully we hopefully we can unhook some of these obstacles if you have any, or get to the root of the problems here that you might be having. Okay, so for the first card, for the general energies for the Virgo female single, we have creation. So that's self-explanatory here. She's in the process of using her creativity to create something. Now on the left here we got compassion. So I feel like she is using her compassion highly or in a compassionate mode, okay? And that may be setting off some things in the creative direction, okay? And then on the right we have self-love. So there's a lot going on here. We're dealing with people with compassion outward, I feel, and this is helping us deal with ourselves in self-love. So there's a lot, it's really busy trine here overall of the energies. So we'll see what happens. So there's a creative area, some compassion's being used, and we're trying to work on our self-love. Okay, first card we get in the tarot, okay, the 8 of Cups. So that's another overall kind of feel here. We've been obviously a single, right? But we've walked away from an opportunity here, and I feel like it's in the love direction, but I could be wrong. The next card we get is the Fool. So we're leaving it, going in a different direction. Simple as that. Then we have the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is about confusion or a lot of opportunities, and we don't know which way to go or what to do or how to prioritize things, okay? And if we're talking about romance here, there's a lot of options, but we're confused as if anything's worth it. And then past the 7 of Cups, we have the 6 of Cups. And that's thinking about things in a nostalgic kind of way. And this woman is really doing that. I feel like it's an expanse on the 7 of Cups. Thinking about past relationships. There's nothing, there's a lot in my view here, but I'm confused. I don't know if I should take any of that. So you're starting to think about things the way they were in the past with other people in other relationships, and you're thinking maybe I should go back there. That's kind of the feel I'm getting. It's like, I've tried new stuff and nothing's working. Should I go back? So we're being nostalgic, thinking about past loves, and then I wouldn't be surprised if she's kind of going outward and trying to find out if anybody's single. That kind of a feel is really what's going on, okay? Now, as we move into the second row with the Dreamer's Tarot, we have the Nine of Swords, and that's under the Eight of Cups. So it was quite stressful for you to leave the situation that you did just get out of. But you're single nonetheless, and it's really causing you some stress and anxiety that this is all going on. But no, you know, it's not holding you back from moving forward, but it sure is keeping you up at night, okay? So under the Fool, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there seems to be a sense of an energy switch here. I feel like you may have had stress in the relationship, stress getting out of the relationship, but things are going to change. And they're going to be working in your favor from here on in, okay? Now, the next card I get under the Seven of Cups is the Five of Pentacles. So there is a sense here that this situation that you had left you feeling out of the mix. You didn't feel like you were appreciated. You didn't feel like you were being valued for who you were and your worth, right? So that's what I'm getting out of the Five of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, I gave a lot there and I wasn't being appreciated for it. So the next card under the Six of Cups, this nostalgia, is the Seven of Swords. So feeling left out, you may have been outright cheated on. You may have had a situation where there's sneaky behavior and you never did figure out what's going on. There's just a whole bunch of stuff here that it was not above board. There was bad behavior, lying, cheating, stealing, and it just didn't sit right. So this is the way that it went. So the third line here, we get into the Lenormand cards, and I get 34. And that's the Fishes. Usually it talks about money, but in relationships here, it'll talk about independence. And there may be a sense here that you, the one thing you had going for you was you were kind of financially independent. So you were able to get out of there and not worry about that type of thing. Or that may be the thing that you're worrying about the most, is the financial independence. But the Fish is usually a good omen in the way of money and finances. So I feel like if you weren't financially, you will be to get out of the relationship. And so you gotta watch the funds in that way. That could be a situation. Now the next card under the Wheel of Fortune is 21, the Mountain. And the Mountain is about challenges and obstacles in our way. Things that get to slowing us down, right? We're trying to get going, moving forward and getting everything accomplished here, but there's obstacles and detours. And I mean, I'll tell you, I'll give you a tip here. A lot of times those are there strategically, universally, so that you can get in the position that you need to be perfectly timed, right? So we got to think about that. We got to think, we want to go off in a new direction. If it ain't happening right away, just figure that maybe someone's not ready for you to come in, or you're not ready for them to come in. So these are the obstacles to slow you down so that you're in the perfect position to have a match in the right way, okay? That came out for somebody. Okay, under the Five of Pentacles, we have the Five, the Tree from the Lenormand. And the tree is about health, love, life, the whole sphere, kind of the bigger picture here. We got to take account of our health. We may even let our health slip in regards to this relationship, meaning that our health was starting to go downhill because of the treatment we got in the relationship, okay? So we were not avoiding, we were not paying attention to ourselves, our body, our health during this relationship. We were not a priority, and that kind of had a toll on the health. That's what I'm getting here, because it's on top of the Five of Pentacles, and that's like we're feeling left out, but we may have been giving, but us to ourselves, we were not giving. We were giving to them, and so that took a toll on our physical body, right? So under the Seven of Swords, we're staying in character here. We got the 7. Oh man, 5 and 5 and 7 and 7. Interesting, isn't that? So the Seven of Swords, we get the 7, which is the snake from the Lenormand. Now that is I mean, you can't get any worse cards here. You had a little slimy bugger in your midst, and it seemed like that's what was going on there. Like, not only are we having lying, cheating, and stealing, but we're having malicious behavior in the direction of who you are. So I feel like there's malicious intent here that was not picked up on, I guess, during the time until the end, right? Till we had to end it. But there's malicious behavior from a partner, a past partner, that was put upon in the relationship, and it's no wonder you felt left out in the cold because this person really didn't have any care for you. So that's sad, but that's the way things are sometimes, right? So that's the energy that comes out here. We got rid of something. That's very good that we did. Now, the next line, we get into the romance here. Now, on the 34, which is the fish, which is usually talking about money and finances, but I feel here an independence, no less. We get the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords in the romance deck, she is pissed off. So, you know, with these two cards here, the 2 sevens, man, that just makes sense, right? This, you know, someone was stabbed here quite with a vengeance, right? So the Queen of Swords, this is her feeling all of that, you know, feeling all of the harsh feelings that she needs to feel because of this crap that went on. So that's just coming down the line and signifying, you know, this was heavy. It came down harsh and hard. I mean, I walked away, but there was a lot of crap here, and it was not good. So, sorry for that. Now, the Fool, the next line, we get the Fool line here, and that's that new direction and the challenges and obstacles that are going to get in the way. On top of that, we get the 4 of Wands. Now, the 4 of Wands is about walking down the aisle. So is this something that you may not be thinking at this point? I think it's going to be the last thing on your mind is getting into a relationship with someone else. But nonetheless, I feel like there may be some obstacles here burying you from the person that you're meant to be with, you know, or want to walk down the aisle with, that kind of thing. So I get a sense that's kind of saying we got some obstacles here, but there is a destination, no less. Okay. Now under the health card, we get the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups is not your element. You're an Earth, but you may be in the mode where, and I don't feel like it's the beginning of this season into winter here. I feel like it's going to be a developmental phase where we're going to be working on our emotions. In the Romance Tarot deck, this woman does have her emotions in line and in check. So I feel like the Virgo, even though she's spitting and sputtering about all of this and mad and pissed off, she's going to get to a point where she baselines her emotions and gets back to compassionate sense and is able to, you know, give emotionally in a good way. So that's a good thing. And that's under the health thing. So I feel like, you know, the 5, the tree card here is kind of symbolizing that, yeah, our emotional state is out of whack to the point where, you know, things are awry. So, and then the Queen of Cups comes back on there to say, yeah, but we'll get it back in gear. You know, we may be emotionally all over the place, but we'll get it back. And the Virgo is somewhat stable, so it's really out of her elements here for sure. And that's no illusion to her. She knows she does not feel right. She's either in the air energy, being like all over the place, and I just, and then, or the Queen of Cups is mushy, gushy, compassionate phase. So there's obviously something that is going to precipitate that, is bring that on. So we got to figure out what that is. But no less here. When we talk about the lion, cheat, and steal and malicious behavior, we get, boom, there he is, the Knight of Swords. So you may have had an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius come through your midst, and this is what was in charge of all this crap that was dumped on you and all this stuff that you walked away from, okay? So this was the dude. He came charging in. He blew shit up, and then now he's gone. And you know what? He knew he was going to be gone, That is no illusion. For whatever reason, I needed to say that. He knew when he come in there, he wasn't going to stay for very long. So they need you to know that. So yeah, just basically coming in to stir shit up. And, you know, it's not productive. It's just not productive. Forward, right? So we'll leave that be. Won't expand on that anymore. The next line. We get into the sexual side here. Now, the first card I get on the Queen of Swords is the King of Pentacles. So that's really telling you the match here. We got a Queen of Swords and a King of Pentacles. First of all, they are not a card match. Pentacles, Swords, these are opposition. Okay, so it's showing that and highlighting that. And on a second level here, this King of Pentacles is always overbearing in the bedroom. He's always aggressive in the bedroom to a degree where we're putting off our partner. So this partner that you went through, even, you know, with all the malicious stuff here, the bedroom was no different. He was overbearing, overwrought, over, right? So there was a lot of stuff going on with this guy. Now, under the Four of Wands, the marriage card here, we got Justice. So I think that this is a reminder that we need to hold ourselves steady. I feel like the Virgo female, I think she's pretty good at doing that at this point here. But just keep in mind that there's justice all the way around. And it's going to be served in due time. And that's what they're saying. They're going to go, it's going to be served and in due time. So we just kind of have faith that this will balance itself out, because I feel like she's in a mode where she knows better, but it's that vengeful vindictiveness. I've been hurt so bad and maliciously, I can't believe this, and this person just gets away with it. That's what, you know, it's kind of that unbelievable thing where it kind of shakes your faith in the universe, like, give this man a smack, because there's something going on here, you know, and you kind of want to be there to witness it, all of that. It's those naughty feelings that are coming through here. So the Justice, you know, basically standing there going, we're going to balance this out, so don't worry. And the Virgo female, having some sense of trust underlying that anyway, because she gets back in her compassionate mode, brings her feelings back to the forefront, and she's going to deal. So, and then I look here, I got the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles on the sex side. And then when we look too, it's another not an element match, even with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords, right? Because we have a Cups and a Sword. So no matter where you sit with this, in the bedroom or in the romance, we weren't jiving. Things were off from the get-go. So there was a lesson here in that, right? So on the Queen of Cups in the sex side, we have the Three of Swords. So that may have been the situation that come through here. May have had an affair, because the Three of Swords is this man is dealing with this woman and there's someone in the background. So that might be the scenario that fits or resonates. And then on top of the King of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords, which is another, you know, we're sneaking around. Things are going on here. I mean, when you have the 3 and the 8, there's 3 people in it. And one is sneaking around thinking they're not going to get caught. The eight of Swords, that's what he's doing. Sneaking around figuring he can't get caught. 3 of Swords, he's doing it. He don't care about this person in the background's feelings. You know, he's kind of being with this person and he's not taking account of that third person because he don't care. So hopefully you weren't that third person or whatever happened there. You know, that's the scenario. That's the energy field they're giving me. It's like, this person don't care. And he's sneaking around because he knows he's not going to get caught, or he feels he won't. You know, there's an ego sense here. Obviously, if we're doing stuff like this, we're heavily in our ego, listening to the wrong voices, making us do stuff, right? So, yay. That is the scenario. Now I did horizontally. I'm going to go vertically, see if we can unpack some more things, and then we'll go from there and wrap it up. So we started with the Eight of Cups, the leaving, right? So what are we leaving? Well, we're leaving a situation that causes a lot of stress and worry and strife, was not in any way good for us, right? So I feel like we really didn't get any rest or feel great in the relationship overall. So the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, talking about leaving a situation that causes a lot of heartache. The 34 on top of that from the Lenormand, the fish, talking about independence and being independent outside of the relationship with, you know, whether it's financially, emotionally, all of it, right? Because we're packing it up and we're moving. So the fish really in this state calls for independence from the Virgo female single. Now, after the fish, we get the Queen of Swords, which is, you know, all of that anger and resentment setting in there, and, you know, making it hard for her to go forward because that's the energy field she's sitting in. She's got to process this, and it's making her mad that she had to go through this. Now we end up on the King of Pentacles, which is just showing that, you know, not only did they not jive outside of the bedroom or anywhere near that, the bedroom, she was being overwhelmed there as well. Okay, so the next line, we start out with the Fool, and this is the new direction we're gonna go in. Like, we're so mad that we just hop and run, and that is, you know, also a hope for better things, right? That's what I'm feeling through the Fool, is like, man, things got to be better outside of this. Like, you know, so there's really kind of a resilience here with the Virgo female single that's surprisingly there at the situation, but good nonetheless. And then on top of that, there's the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is talking about, you know, yeah, this is good. We need to leave and we need to go, and that's all faded and part of the process, and it'll be better on the other side of it. And then on top of the wheel, they're given the 21, which is the Mountain, and that's telling us that we got some obstacles here, but they're strategically placed. There's a reason that we got these things we got to figure out, and it may well be our own, right, self-love issues, because this scenario kind of reeks of not enough self-esteem, and that's what we really got to get to here. So the obstacles, I feel, are going to give you opportunities to grow in the self-love sector, so that's where you're going to gain, right, momentum. And until you do, like, you'll know you'll be making progress once you know, once things start, the obstacles start freeing up for you. You're getting slowed down in the process of getting a new partner. We're not quite filling the love cup here enough, right? But for ourselves, I mean. So that's why the obstacles are coming in, to highlight and give us opportunities to bring about self-loving ways, okay? And then on top of that, we got the Four of Wands, and it's in there saying, yeah, we got, you know, we got marriage material coming up here. We can walk down the aisle. This is all good stuff. Like, this is the Wheel of Fortune, what we want to bring to you, but it's coming. But it may not be right here, right now, but it's coming. And as soon as we get over our obstacles and lessons that we need to learn in the self-love department, this is coming down the works, okay? And then on top of that, we have the Justice, which is like, you know, if it takes a while, then so be it, because we have to wait for perfect timing on this one, for you to develop your own self-dealing tools, so this doesn't happen again, so we can foresee it and not get caught up. And then 2, for you to have and hold this relationship and keep it. Because if we do not have enough self-love in line here, we're not going to be able to keep these good relationships that come through, right? They're going to slip through our fingers because we haven't got the foundation within us before we move to the other person. I think people are understanding that nowadays, okay? So the next line here, we start with the Seven of Cups, and that's all those things floating around, all the confusion. And I also felt, too, on the single end, there's a lot of opportunities, but nothing of interest. We don't know where to go or what to focus on, so we're confused. The Five of Pentacles on top of the 7 here is about that feeling of all of a sudden being without a partner. I'm left out. I'm done. I'm, you know, the Five of Pentacles being left out, you know. And I feel to a degree like almost like she felt like what was I even doing there? This partner was dealing his life without me. Why was I even there? Like, that's the sense of the feeling that I'm getting from her. It's like she's realizing that this guy just didn't have any real interest in her, okay, other than maybe using physically. That's about it. But she didn't key into that. There was that, and that's that self-love part that she has to grow in order to see. So that's that feeling of being alone, right? We didn't realize that to a degree. We had a physical person there, but we didn't realize how alone we were. And now we're realizing that it's kind of a relief that it's not there. But at the time, you know, whatever. Transition period. And it's hard to see until you're completely out of it. Then on top of the Five of Pentacles, we get the Five, the tree from the Lenormand, and that is about your health. So we have to look after ourselves. I feel like that's life, love, everything. That's your self-love peeking out from the Lenormand side, the French side here. We need to love ourselves first, and then let that rainbow spew out to wherever we want, you know, whatever direction we choose. So after the Five, we get the Queen of Cups, which is, yes, we get ourselves back up to peak health, and mentally, emotionally, physically, all of that. We get up to peak health. We end up at the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very emotional, but in this deck, the romance deck, she is in charge. So she does not, you know, she's not bipolar. She's not overly emotional. She's got her emotions in check, and she can really flow them outward. So I feel like the Virgo female is going to come to a nice balance here with her emotions at the end of this phase, whatever it is. However long it takes her to get through this process, she is going to come to an absolute great base. Now, it is out of her element. She's in a Cups energy, so she's going to be more emotional than she is on a regular basis, but this is not a bad thing. And in fact, she's starting to feel more comfortable with it, is the sense I'm getting. Why? Because we've healed somewhat through this, and we realize that we're not going to do that. We're going to go in a new direction, and there's more better coming for me. Good stuff coming, so I got to prepare for that. How? I got to get my emotions in check and make sure that I can give them out wholly to someone who is deserving. And they're feeling from the inside, this sprouting, like, yes, I finally see now that I won't give in that direction. You know, I know what that means now. I'll go forward, and I'll make damn sure. I'm not going to run into another one of those. And not only that, I'm going to bring my emotions forth so that I can vibrate at the frequency and bring that in. Make sure that I'm vibing first. And that's, got to give kudos to the Virgo for getting that in line. Very organized on all levels, and it's showing here. So on top of that, Queen of Cups, Three of Swords. So, you know, a triangular situation that came about here that busted things up, was maddening, pissed off. That's all that. It's all wrapped up. That's kind of the one card scenario. I'm not going to expand. It's pretty basic. The next row, Six of Cups. That's nostalgia, and I feel like it's not even nostalgia in this relationship. I think you're thinking about past relationships that you had that actually went okay or better. Yeah, they're going better than the one that she had. She's going, why is she going backwards? We're going backwards because we're not making ourselves a priority. And we have to do that before, because we may have made ourselves a priority back then, but then we put ourselves aside and vibrated without, and then boom, you get those people that are highly attuned to people that are ready to give more than, you know, more like the doormat syndrome, right? That's the thing. And these men, they can sniff that out from a mile away. The ones that are a match to this, that want to take advantage, man, they've got it pegged. And they just go, oh, there's one. And sometimes they only have to test you with one little thing, and then they just start the steamroller. Lay her down, boys, because she's going under. And that's really what happened here. Sorry, I'm being trite with everything, but it's kind of, you know, I work a lot in metaphors, especially when we get into the sex side. But that's really what, you know, and there's just people that they just have no care for that. And eventually, like, it comes down, and sometimes they don't care when that comes down either. So anyway, Six of Cups, we're thinking about past loves. You know, I had things, they weren't bad in the past. You know, why can't I get that now? And then we're talking about the Seven of Swords, liar, cheater, thief. And the Seven, the snake, malicious intent. Then the Knight of Swords. I mean, they're just lining it right up. There was the dude, the air sign, you know, or air qualities, which is, you know, very spontaneous, very in the moment, not thinking about really anybody's feelings here. And he sure as hell he's not driven by feelings. He's driven by thoughts, and that's what takes him forward. And this one here, I feel is me, 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 me. That's where he's going, and that's what he's singing, and that's where he keeps going. And hopefully, you know, as women, as a group of women here, we need to get smarter, because we're not seeing these dudes as easy as they're seeing the doormats, right? So we just gotta be a little more prickly when we're making our decisions here, and not just let everything fly in. And I'm not saying there's loose here. I'm just saying there's trickery. There's no doubt there's trickery going on here, and slyness. And then each relationship, they learn how to do it better. So don't waste the time in trying to change this one, or, you know, because I think people are starting to wake up to that. It's not working. That's really the thing, is we just make them better manipulators down the road. So the more that we work on them, the more they work on being sly for the next one. And then they pass that over, and this is really how they work. Especially when you got 2 sevens here. That is how they work. And that's going to continue to work. And they're not going to be satisfied, but they don't know no different. Because one thing is satisfying, whatever it is that they choose. You know, whether it was, oh, this woman takes care of me, oh, you know, I get sex, oh, I get whatever. Whatever it is they're after, they get it until they can't get it no more. You know, and now they got no more here. But nonetheless, it is not our job to change them. It is their job to change them. And the only thing we can do is just not put up with it. So at the end, we have the Eight of Swords, which is really highlighting the fact that there's sneaky behavior all around. We got like 4 sneaky cards here. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. There's a lot of stuff undercover here, you know. So it was found out. We walked away, and we still got our dignity here. We got to kind of build it back up a bit. A little bit disappointed in ourselves, I think, more in them. But over time, I think we're going to realize that there were signs there. We just weren't, we were distracted. Yeah, for sure. Weren't paying high enough attention to this whole situation. And that was that self-love corner that we needed to look at. So that was the deal. Okay, so I'm going to overview here. Went over both ways. The first card, to sum it up here, was creation. I feel like the creation, now that I know what's going on, is I'm going to create a new way forward here, and I'm not going to have none of that going on. So the creation is really the energy of, I feel like this woman, you know, does want the long-term thing. She may not want the marriage, but she wants something of that element. We want to get into a relationship that is long-term, true, just, and right. Someone who is faithful and loyal, that kind of thing. So this is what she's in the creation mode for, and that's what the Fool, the new direction, that's where she's headed, right? Now, the compassion, and that is amazingly what this woman's been through. Amazingly, there's a fountain of compassion here that's still working. You hear the trickle in the back. There's a compassion fountain that this woman just will not stop. So that is a good thing. And you know, for Virgo female, I would think maybe the Pisces on that line, or can be, but it all depends where your elements are, right? So you got other elements in water. Maybe it's easier for this one to really jump back and bring those emotions forward. So that's really, I feel, working for you. To be able to bounce back into compassion mode so quickly is amazing. So there's a sense of intelligence here of putting things in its place and going, this guy ain't worth my time to think about it any minute longer, and I'm not going to suffer myself for his da-da-da. This is the thought process I'm thinking, so that's where she's headed, and this is all good. And then we end on self-love, which is the area here that's in repair. Okay, so I was going to say in debt, but we're in repair. We're working on that. And I think for this Virgo female in a single situation, she just was kind of caught off guard. I think she, again, wasn't heightened in awareness at this time, distracted by other things, and maybe not listening to all those instinctual things. And I don't think it was like, no, I'm not listening. I think it was, I'm busy, you know, and that kind of a thing. I don't see any real avoidance here other than the incident itself becoming a shock and, you know, a surprise to her, and stressful nonetheless and heavy. But she's just going to deal with it. She's going to put her panties on and get moving. You know, like it's just, that's what we're doing. We're not going to let this hold us back. And I think that's the main deal here. We're going to keep going. Self-love, creation, and compassion. This woman's on a good road here. And she's on to repair. And there ain't nothing going to hold her back once she gets going. She kind of had a slip up. I feel like it's, you know what? That's my fault. She took full responsibility. Now she's moving forward. She's like, what the hell was I thinking? And didn't have time to look into it. So bump in the road. Now we move on. That's really the sense I'm getting from her, which is very strong and sturdy. And even though she's got her compassion, I feel like that earth energy is very grounded in getting what she wants and attaining that goal eventually. And you know what? If it takes longer, it takes longer. I don't care. I'm just trudging away. And that's the mode that she's in. So kudos to you. She's going to get it. She's no worry about that. She knows it's there. She's just kind of slapped upside the face here because she wasn't quite paying full attention. And that was the thing. So now she's shook back into reality, and she won't do that again. So for the Virgo female single for the winter of 2018 into the winter of 2019, that is your reading. And hopefully that helps you overcome some obstacles or realize them or help push you forward in whatever way that you decide. So take care. Have fun. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All of that celebratory stuff over the season. Have fun and be kind.